Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing today? Hey, let me say something. If you want to improve your credit, if your credit score is in the basement right now, you have to understand the assignment. You have to understand the assignment. So, hey guys, today I'm going to share with you five things, five steps, five ways that you can actually pull your credit scores, improve your credit scores. I'm going to be sharing with you five steps to do that today. So, hey, man, if you are in a position where you need to improve your credit, hey, today is your lucky day. And let me tell you something. How do I know these strategies, these tips that I'm going to share with you actually work? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. Hey, guys, my credit score used to be, depending on which one you're looking at, but I my credit score was in the low 500s. My credit score, yes, was in the low 500s. I'm talking about it might have been 505, 510. I mean, it was low. It was low. And I don't know, what transpired. I can't remember exactly what was going on during that time, but I was having a difficult time, and I took my eye off the ball. I started to let things slip, and as a result, my credit score is showed in my credit score, right? So today I'm gonna share with you a few things that I did that actually helped me to increase my credit score. And so, what am I talking about? Just so you know, by the way that I know these works. Hey, this particular credit card, this is $7,000. This one right here, this one is 16,000. This particular one right here, this one is 25,000. So I know these things work. So that's the reason why I'm sharing with you guys today. So if you watch today, please like and share so some other people can get this information as well. So hey, so number one, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, number one, the first thing that you have to do, guys, if you want to improve your credit score, if you want to understand the assignment, you have to understand, become knowledgeable. You have to understand the rules, guys. You have to understand the rules, okay? That's the first thing that you do. You have to start to educate yourself and learn about your rights as a consumer, actually what creditors and the credit bureaus, what they can actually do and what they can't do. You have to become knowledgeable. You have to understand the rules if you want to play the game well. Okay? You want to play the game well. So the first thing is you want to become knowledgeable. You want to understand, for instance, what is the statute of limitations for your particular state? How long can information, missed payments, things of that nature, old collections, old debts, how long can they stay on your credit report? You need to understand that, okay? You need to understand how long is it, what's the statute of limitation that someone can sue you? Okay, statute of limitations for reporting and someone actually suing and collecting on that debt. Those are two different things. In essence, just to give you an example, but in essence, what I'm saying is you need to become knowledgeable about the information about Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. You need to become knowledgeable about those things, okay? The second thing that you need to become knowledgeable about is actually your financial situation. You need to understand the ins and outs of your particular credit profile and credit score. So, and the reason why I say that is because sometimes people will look at some of these free services, like looking at Credit Karma, for instance. The Credit Karma score, or the score that you get with Credit Karma, is not the credit score that most lenders and creditors use. Okay. So if you're looking at Credit Karma's score, um, you're going to be misled into thinking that your score is better or worse than it actually is, or than the one that most lenders use. Okay, so you need to understand exactly what your credit profile looks like and understand the ins and outs of the accounts and the information that is in your credit profile. Okay, so once you have become knowledgeable and understand and have gone over your credit profile and understand what to look for, okay, on your credit report, the next step, you want to go through the process of removing old, inaccurate information from your credit report. That is the first step. So you want to go through the process of disputing the information that is old, outdated, and inaccurate. Okay, that's the first. That's the second step that you want to take. You want to get all of that information off there. If it's past the statute of limitations for your state, it needs to come off in terms of statute of reporting time. Okay, if some of the information on there, if some of the missed payments that you have, or some of the collections, if they are old but they have inaccurate dates on there, if they have inaccurate amounts, you might see accounts that are reporting more than once. All right. It is possible for a certain amount or for a certain account to actually show up and be reported by two different people, like the original creditor, because they have a relationship with you that shows your credit history with them. But that debt could have been sold off to someone else, to another collections agency, and then they have the right to report that debt as well. So it is possible that you can have the actual debt reported more than once, but the actual account itself, like if it was, we'll say Verizon, you shouldn't have two Verizon accounts on there if you only have one account with Verizon. See, so there's a little bit of a difference there. But in any case, you want to be able to look at your entire credit profile from all three credit bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You want to look at each one of those reports. You want to look at your scores. You want to look at everything in your credit profile and look for old, inaccurate, or outdated information. You want to look for old names that might be showing up on your credit profile. You want to get those off. You want to look for anything that is old, outdated, or inaccurate. So that's the second step. The third step, obviously, is you want to start paying all your bills on time. Your payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. And so it is weighted heavily. All right. So any missed payments will really, really do a number on your credit score. So you just want to get in the habit and make a commitment that you will never ever miss another payment. Okay. If you are considering purchasing a home, or buying a vehicle, or putting anything on credit, I want that to inform the way you think about getting into credit, because you never want to put yourself in a situation where you're unable to make your payment when it's due. So I see so many times people are buying houses or buying homes, and they are stretching themselves so thin it takes all of two incomes to make that house payment, and really they're potentially putting themselves in a position where they may not be able to make their house payments if anything happens. Okay, so you just want to be careful and be very mindful about how you enter into credit situations, because you want to make sure that you never ever miss another payment again in life. So if that means that you put your payments on auto pay, I suggest you do it if you have a hard time keeping up with it. Okay. All right. Jamix wants to know, Credit Karma isn't an accurate reporting. Um, great question. Jamix, Credit Karma is an accurate reporting. However, the score that they, or the scoring model they use to score your credit profile, is not used by most lenders. Okay. So 90%, 85 to 90% of creditors and lenders and banks use a FICO score as as the credit score they use to make a determination as to whether or not they're going to extend you credit. Credit Karma, the reporting should be accurate, but the score that Credit Karma produces, which is called Vantage score, it is not used by most creditors. Okay, so I look at Credit Karma only because I just want to make sure that things are moving in the right direction, that nothing is popping up that shouldn't be popping up. Okay, but in terms of the score that it produces, um, most creditors and banks don't use that score at all. So for scoring purposes, or for attaining credit, it doesn't hold any weight. Okay. So you really should, yes, you need to go to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and you want to make sure that all three of the information, all of the bureaus are reporting information accurately and correctly. Okay. And it's also helpful to have a FICO score for all three of those bureaus, because you never know, if you happen to apply for credit, which bureau they're going to pull. They're going to pull to make a credit decision. So you want to be aware of what your credit is looking like for all three. All right. So, guys, let me put on here. You can actually get this information, or get credit, your credit scores for free, if you know where to look. And I just put in the chat, guys, if you go to alexbjones.com/credit, I actually have a credit kit that walks you through every single thing you need to know and understand about your credit scores, about increasing and raising your credit scores, and statute of limitations. I actually include letters that you can use to validate debt, to dispute debt, what to say if they come back and say debts are actually verified. Let me tell you, this credit kit at alexbjones.com/credit, it will walk you through it and show you everything that you need in order to do it. And like I said before, it works because I had a credit score low 500s, and now I'm in mid 700, 750, 760, and $7,000 credit card, 16,000 on this one, 25,000 on this one. So it works, guys. Hey, you hear that? That's the heavy card, right? Anyway, so let me continue. So the second thing that you want to do is you want to remove all negative and old and inaccurate information and items from your credit report. You want to go through the disputing process. You want to write letters. Never go through the dispute process through these online portals. Okay, all you're going to get is a computer that's going to spit you back an answer, and that's not what you want. You want to make sure that you are writing physical letters that are sent in the mail. All right. So that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. All right. So you don't want to do that. Number three, you want to make sure that you start paying all of your bills on time. As I said before, 35% of your credit score is made up of your payment history. So even one missed payment or 30-day late payment can be really detrimental to your credit score. Number four, the fourth thing that you want to do is, of course, you want to dispute negative information like collections and judgments, and even bankruptcies if those bankruptcies have been discharged and they are continuing to report past their statute of limitations. Again, these things should fall off automatically, but sometimes they don't. And so you have to make sure that you remain vigilant to make sure that it does. Okay. When dealing with past collections, okay, one of the things that I see people make the mistake of doing all the time is um, a collections agency will contact them and kind of intimidate them or scare them into making payments, okay, or starting to make payments again. Anytime you start doing, if you enter into an agreement, if you start making payments, um, all of those things will restart the clock in terms of how long these debts can be reported and how long they actually have to come back and sue you. So you want to be very, very careful about which collections, if you have any. You want to be very careful about which ones you decide to pay and how you actually go about doing that. And so, like I said before, alexbjones.com/credit. I go through all of those things and things that you should look for. If you are very, very close to the statute to this particular account falling off of your credit report, if you're very close to that statute of limitations to the reporting date, it might be good to not pay it. Okay, I'm just saying that if you owe people, you owe people. But in terms of reporting and in terms of statute of limitations and your credit scores, if you are very close to the statute of limitation and it falling off your credit report, it may be more advantageous not to pay it. All right, from a credit reporting and a credit increasing standpoint. All right. But if you happen to enter in an agreement with a collections agency, you always want to negotiate for a pay for deletion. Okay, a pay for deletion, meaning once the account is paid um, uh, to the collections agency, once it's actually paid, you want to have something in writing from them that says that they agree to delete the account once it is paid according to whatever you negotiate with them for. Okay, because you don't want to make the mistake of paying a collections and all they wind up doing is updating it to show that the collections was paid, but it still reports on your credit report. Because in that instance, it's still going to negatively impact your score. So it's almost as if paying it didn't have any it didn't improve your situation at all. So it's like, well, why did I go through the effort of making the payment and my scores won't increase? So you want to make sure that you negotiate and get a pay for deletion if you're going to be making if you're going to be paying a collections to a collections agency. All right. And so once you have gone through the process, you have gotten old information, inaccurate information, you've had negative accounts removed. The next step is you want to make sure, which is step number 5, you want to make sure that you put new good accounts onto your credit report. Okay. And you can do this any number of ways. Oftentimes, if you happen to have low credit scores, you may need to start out with adding secured accounts, like a secured credit card might be the best thing to start building up your credit profile. Okay, some really good secured cards to look at would be you want to look for a credit card that graduates, meaning it can actually go from being a secured card to an unsecured card. Okay, so cards like Discover has a secured card that you can potentially qualify for, and that over time, once you've been making your payments on time for a period of time, it can actually go from a secured card to an unsecured card, meaning they will give you your deposit back. Okay. And also, I think Capital One has a secured card that also graduates as well. So those are some really good accounts to look at. Now, in terms of putting on a different mix of accounts, because that's a part of your score as well. That's about 10% of your credit score. You want to have different accounts. So you want to have, maybe credit cards accounts. You want to have auto loans. You want to have mortgage. You want to have, possibly personal loans. That's considered your credit mix or your credit profile mix. Okay. And so they like to see how you handle different types of credit. Okay. And so they look at the different credit mixes that you have, because if you have all credit cards and you don't have any personal loans or any installment loans, then they're kind of lukewarm on that. So you want to make sure that you have a good mix. If you have a mortgage, if you have auto loan, if you have a student loan, if you have personal loan, if you have various credit cards as well, those things will beef up your credit profile and give you more points for your credit mix. Okay. And another way that you can actually add, thicken up your credit profile is if you can have someone add you as an authorized user, or it's called piggybacking, meaning if you have someone who has a really, really, really good credit payment history, say on this card, this is $25,000 credit limit. I could actually add someone to this card. Now, you won't get the card. You won't get access to making any purchases or anything like that. But all of the payment history associated and the credit limit associated with this card would then be put onto your credit profile if you happen to be an authorized user of this particular card. And so that is also a way that you can go through the piggybacking process and become an authorized user on someone's account in order to beef up your credit profile and to strengthen or improve your credit scores. So those are the 5-step, guys. And it's a good bit of information that you need to know, and there is a process that you have to go through. but it is something that that you can pay someone to do, but you can surely do it yourself. So if you go to alexbjones.com/credit, I have a credit kit that walks you through the process, and it gives you all of the information that you need. It gives you credit letters that you need, everything you need in order to beef up, to improve your credit scores, and get you to a place of where you want to be. Like I said before, if these things work, because I mean, right here, this is $50,000 of credit right here, and so it works, guys. All right. So there you have it. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or inbox me. I encourage you to go take a look at alexbjones.com/credit. Grab the credit kit. It'll walk you through the process step by step, and it'll put you in a position and in a place to be able to access credit, so you're able to get the things that you truly want in life. All right. So there you have it, guys. You got to understand the assignment. I've given you the assignment. Now it's your time to do the work. All right. Take care. God bless. Get out there and make some shit happen.